we're going to go through and actually have a look at getting the Springfur Alpaca mount in World of Warcraft. Now, this one's pretty easy to get, especially if you're the level of being able to fly. It's always handy. Now, I'm just on my hunter today, and we're hanging out here in autumn. So as you can see up on the screen there, I've got a picture of the Springfur Alpaca and what it looks like. And I haven't collected it yet, but we are about to today, hopefully. Now, it's two parts to actually getting the alpaca. Now, I would recommend that you get the Springfur Alpaca app that you can get through CurseForge. Makes it very easy to find. If you look here on my map here, you can see that I've got a whole lot of blue dots and green circles. This is actually from the app. Thank you to the creator for that. It makes things a lot easier, as I said. So you can see at the moment, if you can just see up the very top corner, I'm on that set of blue dots up the top. Now the blue dots represent where the alpaca will spawn. Because as I said, there's two parts. So the first thing you will do, once you've got your app installed and whatnot, you will get yourself down to Autumn. Now Autumn, if you don't already know, is in Kalimdor. And it's right down the bottom here, as you can see it. Easiest way to do that is, whether you're Horde or Alliance, is to take the Caverns of Time portal and fly across from Tanarus. Alright, it's not too far, you just fly straight across into Autumn. Now, Autumn is an area that can be time locked, as I call it. So you can view the area pre-Cataclysm expansion or after the Cataclysm expansion. Now you can see here on my map here that I've got up, I'm actually in the modern day, the current times. So it's after Cataclysm. So if you come in here and you have your app installed and you do not see all these lovely little circles up the middle of the river here, or the blue dots, you know you're in the wrong part. And it'll actually come up, helpfully, and say that you are in the wrong version of Autumn. So you need to be in current times. Now what gives it away also is the fact that I've got this big purpley area over here, which is being having an event for, of course, what they did with Enzoth and that expansion that we had. I think that was BFA, wasn't it? Battle for Azeroth. So you know you're in current times. If you do not have it in the current times, you can see just in the middle here, there is a little white chat bubble, and that's for Zidormi. So if you go see Zidormi, you can actually choose to talk to her and change whether or not you are in the pre-Cataclysm version of Autumn or the current time. So you just go in and see her first. Once you've done that, you should see these app points start to show up for you. Now, what are these app parts and what are the parts to it? As I said, two simple things that it just takes time. A bit of time and patience. What you'll see, as I said before, the green circles, they're the first things that you need to focus on in order to get your Spring Alpaca mount. Just fly across. The green circles are actually, excuse me, the greens, the food that we have to feed the alpaca. So we collect them and we have to feed him or her for 7 times. Now it's a daily request, so it will reset every day. and you can come back and feed them. So you don't have to be 7 consecutive days. So if you get a bit tied up on other quests and things that you're doing, don't worry about it. You can still come back and give them another feed. It may take you a few goes up and down, and they can be a little hard to spot at the start, and they tend to be right or very along the edge of the water. Let's see if we can find one that's up at the moment. So as I said, it might take you a few goes to get them, but you can collect them all at once. You don't have to collect one each day as you go along. So you can collect all 7. Whiptail. There's one. So it can be a little hard to spot once you get to know what you're looking for. This is what you are looking for. Just get off the mountain so I can zoom in a bit better. Okay. Oh, and of course my pet sits on it. There we go. See, Gershol shrub. You click on that, it will give you one. You don't necessarily need it, but there you go. That's what it looks like. So in your bags, it will just look like very similar to some of the early level herb icons. Once you have the 7 of those in your bag, or one if you just want to do it each day, then you need to go find the friendly alpaca. Now this is one of the more time consuming parts of it, but as I said, it's fairly simple. If you have this app, I'm going to head up to this one up here and go have a look. Now he's about the size of the camels, so he's not something really tiny to have to find. And as I said before, he will be walking around, if you haven't already done it, for the day with a nice blue exclamation mark above him. I usually have to go around 2 or 3 times to all the different spots on my map. Now if you're higher level, you're not going to be bothered by these beasts too much. They're fairly easy to clear out. Just be careful though when you are flying around in here, because of the Enzoth stuff. There are those big worms that fly around and get you. They shoot out a beam of light. So as we can see at the moment, this one is not here. Head up to this one. Also, you can see there's a world event there. Don't try and attack them, even if you're a level 70. Unless you're a lot better geared than me, you're going to probably end up with your butt handed to you. So you'll get used to flying this rotation. We're lucky we find him early on. If we're not, we have to go around a couple of times, as I said. Here it is. Here's our friendly alpaca. There you go. It was all the way over here in the harbour in one of the spots. As you can see, it's got the exclamation mark above it, daily one. It does move. It doesn't stop for you. You've got to move along. See, sniffs the general direction of your backpack, eyeing it intently. Give him his greens, munches on it. And look, this time it has a yellow one. You won't get that yellow one until you've fed it 7 times. This is my 7th time. I click on it. There we go. Reigns of the Springfur Alpaca. So this time around it took around about an hour and 15 minutes. Click complete before it walks off. As you can see, it does not disappear afterwards. So I'm actually going to call out the location in case anyone else is actually doing it. Shall we take it out and have a look? Oh, there it is. Reigns of the Springfur Alpaca. Now, as I said before, I think this is just a ground mount. Let's double check that. Yep. Oh, look, it does a funny jump. Okay, so if you hit the jump while you're standing still, it does a set of jumps. If you do it while you're jumping, it does like a splayed leg jump. Definitely a land one, but very cute.